What's up, Trinbago Vibes peeps? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Vibes Live, episode 81. Like, normally I was doing this once a month, after the 5-year anniversary earlier this year. I thought I would do this for like once a month, but I just say I had some time today, this evening, to just come and give some updates, because I'm not sure if next weekend I will have time, and we'll be in October. So I was like, might as well come and, give you all some updates. And we are going through probably a dry spell in a sense right now. I know back in the days we used to call this Petit Karim around this, like a 2 weeks in September where, well, we here in Trinidad and Tobago, just for some context, we have two seasons, the rainy season and the dry season. So first half of the year is be the dry season. The next half of the year is normally be the rainy season. Right now, these things more or less out of whack. So, yeah. So normally here in the rainy season, we have like a 2 weeks where rain doesn't really fall and the place is be hot. And if I just find these days, the place is hot. Now again, thank you all for taking some time and joining me on this Sunday Vibes Live, I know normally I'll start this around 8 and I'll run a little late, and that's my bad because I was I was watching a show and I just lost track of time, on Netflix. So I was watching a series called Alice in Borderland, season 3. Normally we'll save that down for the end of this live stream where anything goes. Normally here, the first section or the first half of this would be discussing everything that we have done previously and some spoilers for some up and coming, content here on the channel. Oh, Naeem and Mike, big up, big up. I know Panorama going to launch just now. If it hasn't launched already, that'll be in November 2026. So yeah, and this weekend actually had some pan-centered events, right? I wanted to cover a few of them, but it just, the timing, I didn't get a chance to go there. Naeem, I'm not sure if there will be a Sunday Vibes Live next week. Hopefully, actually no, most likely they may not be. That's why I decided to do this now, and yeah, I wanted to do this earlier. So before we jump into yesterday's video, which was Laviji, I just want to recap the Curry Duck episode. Again, big up Shell Upstream from South. They sent me the invite and I went there as a judge, for their in-house Curry Duck competition. It was a nice vibe, so a nice lime, and we ate some good duck. And that was the first time I met Chef Jason Peru. Like, that dude, he's a real cool soldier, a real down to earth soldier. And so it was nice to meet him, as well as Chef Samdat. He's the one who's normally like one of the cooks for Shell Upstream when they need oil rigs and stuff. So it was pretty cool to, be part of the judges. Like, I remember a time I went and do a curry duck competition, and one of the judges was a chef. So it's always be good to, get those insights, because it's a little different from how me, the regular Joe, would go and eat these things, right? They could describe flavor, they could describe texture properly, and everything. So it was a nice experience to experience that. Naeem is asking, they need some more Tobago videos. Bro, I would love to do some Tobago videos. Hopefully before the end of the year, I will do some, but it is a timing thing and a budget thing, and right now, it is not in the cards, at least till probably November, possibly December. I'm hoping to do some Tobago videos, but we will see how it goes. Oh, Crixie, good night. Welcome. And yeah, and then, well, that was the curry duck. So it was a fun experience. And the thing is, it happened at South Ranch. So I got to show the drive to South Ranch and to highlight South Ranch a little bit, which is a spot. Fun fact, that's where I had my wedding reception. So, yeah. And honestly, I did not record anything for my wedding, which, now and again, I would have some regret, but like, whatever, right? The memories are there in the photos and whatnot. But anywho, so it was a fun experience just to highlight the South Ranch and also to, taste curry duck from these men who would normally be in the oil and gas field. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, and then last week, well, corn soup popping, that I wanted to do that for a while. That came out of when I was doing the instant Trini food, and I had corn soup, and I had asked you all, in that video if all you wanted me to do a corn soup popping, because I had plans to do the corn soup popping, but I wasn't sure when I was going to do it. But when it was overwhelmingly yes, I was like, all right, cool, we on to do that. So yeah. Well, Patricia, welcome to good night, and yes, Mike, money tights, So right now it is a budget scene for me at least. And I have other projects and things that I'm working on. So hopefully I'll be able to do Tobago later this year. If not in November, December. Probably, hopefully, we will see how it goes. I know right now is Carnival in Tobago, so it's a real vibes going across there. Mike is saying the best corn soup is Bix Car Park. I know where Bix Car Park is. I've never seen a corn soup person there like this come out late in the night, I assume, Mike. But that corn soup I had by the cross, it tasted pretty good. And well, the combination of corn and the one in Marabella, I know somebody was saying that they had the one in Marabella and it wasn't that great for them, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I guess sometimes is like, because these people make this corn soup in these big pots, sometimes where they get the flavor from, that might make a difference. But for me, at least when I went and tried their corn soup, it was a good corn soup for me, at least my taste buds, how I like it. And I explained, I think, in the video, I like it creamy and stuff. And when I mean creamy, I like the thickness, right, of the corn soup. Now and again, like a watery corn soup for me, it'd be like, I feel like I could get that in any Chinese restaurant, so to speak. So yeah. So I'll make a note of that, Mike. Mike is saying that there's Bix Car Park in DB. Thursdays to Saturdays, 5 p.m. The cross soup does be sweet. I mean, it wasn't sweet for me, but then again, right, I took some shadow benny and slight pepper in that, so that probably counterbalanced that sweetness. I think the sweetness really comes from the corn itself. I think they use a sweet corn, and that is where the sweetness come from. But outside that, it was, for me, at least the one I had that was Sharon's, that was well balanced. So at least that's what I taste. Again, the thing about these foodie spots, sometimes they may not be as consistent. And to be honest, to me, Sharon's tastes similar to Taboo's corn soup. Like, for those old school who know corn soup on the cross, there was one man who was reigning, or one tent that was reigning supreme with corn soup, and that was Taboo's corn soup. I'm not sure what happened to them. I thought they were still around. I'm not sure if the time I went they wasn't there. There's be closer to the cross side by GTA there, but I didn't see them, and I wanted to go out and try them because that was my go-to corn soup for when we used to be liming in Southern and everything. But it was nice, and it was also interesting to try the other corn soups, especially like in the Savannah and Eddie Hart. Now, I know it would have had more than one corn soup in Eddie Hart, and but at the time I reached, it just had that one that we tried. And also, I wasn't expecting so many corn soup in the Savannah. I thought there would have just been one spot, and when I went there and I saw 3, I was like, ah. So I just went to the 2 of them that had the crowd, so to speak. So, and I was on my way back to try the 3rd spot, like after I went across the Eddie Hart, because I did the Savannah, I did Eddie Hart on the same night, and Grand Bazaar. But it's only coming back towards town, I was like, wait now, Grand Bazaar had a corn soup person. I remember that Grand Bazaar had a corn soup person when I was back in UE days, and I know it used to taste good, so that's why I ended up cutting in Grand Bazaar and trying that. But I will come down and taste that corn soup, Mike. Don't worry, one of these days I'll come down and taste it. And S&M have the best roti too. Which S&M? Because, Mike, just like I would say R&S roti and Mona's roti is one of the best rotis I've ever had. And R&S is formerly what we call Dollar Bear roti. But then I realized they have a few R&S roti shops throughout the country. So S&M down Penal side, just give me the exact location and I'll check them out when next I do our roti hopping. So we'll see how that goes. And well, that out of the way. So yesterday we had a drop Laviji, right? I wanted to go and do this for a while. People has been requesting it as well, and I was waiting for a little while to let the the what is we're looking for, letting the newness die down a little bit. I really, like I mentioned in that video, I wanted to go and check it out a few years after just to see if it's still upkept properly and everything. And right, it was amazing to be up there. And shout out the guards too. Those guards were real informative and real normal. So shout out the guards at Laviji, because from them I got some information and stuff. I asked in the video if you all want to see a sunset or a sunrise there, because apparently it's open from 5 in the morning and it's closed 8 in the night, which I thought, wow, I thought it was a 6 to 6 scene, honestly. So you could actually go up there and catch a beautiful sunrise and also a fantastic sunset, if that's your thing. I think probably Trini Surfer did that, so who knows if people really want to see that. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so it was fun to show the drive. Like initially I wanted to do the whole drive, but then I realized, wait, now that whole drive would have taken up time. And I did mention in the video that I would have uploaded the full drive, right? And if you notice, I didn't do that as yet. So in that video, till Laviji that we dropped yesterday, is just the main points of that drive when I took the Shodo Road. Now this Shodo Road is the more challenging road because there's a lot of curves and inclines, right? It's easier to reach Laviji from the Fonpondo roadside, that is off the north coast. It just requires a little extra drive. So it's like if you're heading towards Maracas, like just midway between the turn off from the Saddle Road to the lookout, midway there, have the Fonpondo Road on the left hand side. If you have watched my North Deck videos, or I did an Airbnb up on that side that was next to North Deck, Mahogany Ridge, right? You would have seen that road, right? And the steep incline, really and truly, was that just to reach up there. Because once you reach up to North Deck, it's basically you're on the mountain ridge itself, and it is a more smoother road to reach the junction before you swing right to go up Shoulder Road to go up to the lookout. So for those of you watching who want to make that trip, I would still recommend the Shoulder Road. I still have to edit the video, that drive, and it's going to be like a raw edit. I'll have some commentary in between because I haven't been up there in a while, so I was using maps to reach there. And I think one of the indicators, I did take a slight wrong turn because I wasn't paying attention. No, two spots I did take a wrong turn, but one of them I knew that would have looped me back down. So, and I mentioned that in the video. But the next one, where I was supposed to make a right at the top of a hill, I ended up going straight, and that happened to be a dead end. I was like, oh wait. So I had to reverse and then make the right. So look out for that video. I'm hoping to edit that one sometime during the week, and I would drop that like sometime in the middle of this week, because the next video that we have up and coming, this next video next Saturday, or that next weekend, the first weekend in October, is Barrel Waterfall. Yes, it's not Carmelita, it's Barrel, and I'll end up checking out that waterfall with my brethren Rajesh. So look out for that one. That one was a interesting one, because while we was there at Barrel Waterfall, rain was falling, so it wasn't that much of a challenge to reach there. But of course, when rain falling and you're out in the bush, it will increase the difficulty a little bit, but still, it wasn't too bad, right? So look out for that one. And again, I didn't mention this. I don't think I've mentioned what Raj does. He's doing a PhD in maths, and he have done some videos for SBAs for Form 4s and Form 5s who are writing CXC. So they'll be releasing some videos on that, and we chat about it in that video. So if your son or daughter, or your niece or anybody who would be in Form 4, Form 5 doing SBA maths, and even if you are a teacher teaching maths, he have some very educational up and coming videos tackling the SBAs for that particular subject. And in that video we will talk about it a little bit, and then there will be a link to get the videos where he go through that in detail. So I just gonna shout that out. And yeah, hey Mike, yeah, you big up man, right? So thanks for popping in this short space of time here. We appreciate any time you spend with us here. So look out for Barrel Waterfall. It is not the same as Carmelita. I didn't have time because of the weather. When at the time I went and record this video, right, the weather was just back and forth. 1 minute it was raining, next minute the sun came out blazing, and again we couldn't time these things. So I was only able, because the plan that day when I wanted to record Barrel, I wanted to go back to Carmelita just to highlight that again, right, during the rainy season. But I didn't get the chance. So hopefully I'll do that sometime in the future. But Barrel Waterfall to me was a little better than Carmelita Waterfalls. And again, I know we had beach cleanup happening this month as well. Big up anybody who went out and helped out in the beach cleanup. Shout out you all. I know this weekend, I believe, again, Trini Sofa and them was down D2 beach doing a beach cleanup. That would have been yesterday. And this weekend I was just out because again it was my birthday. So if you are celebrating my birthday this weekend as well, happy birthday to you all. And thanks for the birthday greetings for those of you who posted in the community tab, the post. I'm not going to call it that community tab now. I see they call it the post, so on the channel. So thank you all for the birthday greetings and wishes and everything. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, I also see, like, okay, schools open back last time we had this live, so traffic seemed to have settled down a little bit. So like, I know the first week of school opening here in September, it'll be a little chaotic. But yeah, and also this past week here, Wednesday going was Republic Day. We celebrated our Republic Day here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now that was the Wednesday, right? Now Trinidad and Tobago became a republic in 1972, and people used to, if you're wondering what is the difference between Republic Day and Independence Day. So Independence Day is when we gained independence from the British Empire at the time. That was in 62, and then some years later, a decade later, we became a republic, meaning that although we were independent from the British rule, right, we were still following British laws. So when we became a republic, we had our own constitution. So after independence, it was like England wasn't in charge of Trinidad and Tobago. It wasn't governing us. We was governing ourselves, but we were still using their laws, their constitution. When we became a republic, we had a Trinidad and Tobago Republic constitution. So that's when we had our constitution. Now, fun fact, this happened the same day as Emancipation Day. So August 1st is when we officially became a republic. But because it clashed with Emancipation Day, right, they moved it to September 24th, which was the first day Parliament convened under the new Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Constitution. So that's why we have the holiday on the 24th. And I saw Shell Invaders. Oh, that is just some background history there. I probably got the year wrong with Republic Day. If I do, forgive me, right? But right, big up Shell Invaders. They had a kind of old school trophy that morning on Republic Day. They've been having this for the past few years. I wanted to go out and capture that, but again, the night before was a late night for me, and I ended up sleeping in. But I knew it would have had people like streaming it, like living my life, British, Radical Tube, Gatsy. These peeps is be out there for any pan stuff, and they will be live streaming right through from the beginning straight down to the end and thing. And when we mean old school Juve, they were basically pan men in racks, and people was pushing that racks throughout, Woodbrook, St. Clair and stuff. So that was cool to see, because I did end up going out a little bit, but I didn't really capture anything, and because it was a little later in the day. The only thing I did capture and I uploaded was the rhythm section, the Tunapuna rhythm section by Blazers Bar right on Chagrit Road there. Because I was just walking back. I was just walking through the streets at that point in time, and that would have been late. That would have been probably about 10-ish, thereabout. And yeah, so I just capture that and like upload that as a short. So yeah, and other than that, I had plans as well on Republic Day just to probably go down to SHAQ and stuff, but then it just turned out to be a relaxing day for me, and that's about it. And next thing I wanted to mention, and this would be probably a shorter live stream because we chat about what's up and coming, we chat about what we just did, and before I give some more, actually, let me jump into other things that I have plans for, and I probably would have mentioned this before previously. I do plan to do another budget video, $100 at the market. I'm hoping to schedule that sometime in October. So look out for that either at the end of October or the beginning of November. And because it's basically you spend $100 in the market and then see how long it can last without during the week. That is the plan, right? I've been saying this since the beginning of the year, and I really need to make the time and push that. I would call that a project forward. I wanted to document that. Also, because I did Laviji, I thought it makes sense to do Fort Abercrombie as well. Just because I did Fort George, might as well do the forts here in Trinidad and Tobago and like just have that documented as well. So also up and coming would be Fort Abercrombie. And well, last time I was on the live, I believe I mentioned that I was on my way to Beach to meet up with some farmers to do a documentary, and I got into a car accident. So my car is still down. It is awaiting repairs and whatnot. Whoa, Christopher, it's been a while. So I didn't get to do that video, but I'm still have that car there to do it before the year end. So that will be another up and coming video. Most likely that will drop in November, I'm hoping, because I'm hoping to do that sometime in October, to go there, meet the farmers, do a documentary in Beach, and get that out there, because I thought that would have been a fun thing. I also started ramen hopping, doing a cheap to expensive ramen. I've recorded about 3 ramen spots already. Well, one of them is the grocery ramen, spoilers, and I'm going up the level, right, in terms of the price. But again, because of what happened to my vehicle, and I'm borrowing a vehicle at the moment, I'm only limited on so much things I could do. So the ramen hopping may take a pause for a little bit, especially as right now Diwali is coming up. Right now, for those of you who follow the Hindu faith, I'm Hindu, by the way, we in Navratri, which is basically fasting season, right? So on Diwali is falling on the 20th. So basically from now until the 20th, I'll be fasting. So that's why I could probably do the market video, because I won't have any meat in that video. And so the ramen videos would probably be on pause until after Diwali. So that's why it wouldn't be dropped anytime soon. That might drop sometime after Diwali. So probably at the end of the month, hopefully, we're looking to drop that ramen video. And when I mean end of the month, end of October. I know we're still in September, I have to remember that. Right. We just have a few more days in September. So I'm just giving you all some updates. And speaking of Diwali, again, I normally, for just the Saturday before Diwali, here on the channel, we will normally do a temple hopping video or something related to Diwali. I won't get a chance to visit any temples within the next few weeks, right? So what I'm thinking for my Diwali episode is I would probably go and try some of the food at the Diwali Nagar. Now, last time I did that, I did pepper roti hopping, and I think I tried more or less all the pepper roti hopping. So this time, in my head, like, again, spoilers, I'm thinking just to go and randomly ask people what is the best thing they think here has in Adi Nagar and go and try that. So that is essentially what I plan to do, and that video will drop on the 18th of October. Again, I would be live streaming the most likely opening ceremony of the Nagar, right? And also Ramlila has started here in Trinidad and Tobago. I would have done a video on Ramlila explaining the whole Ramlila scene. For those of you who don't know, check that video out if you're interested. Because to me, the key factor here is knowledge cures ignorance. Oh, Rudra, good night. So, because I covered Ramlila in a video, I will be live streaming some of the Ramlila here in the country as well. I'm not sure what nights or when. Just so stay tuned, look out for whenever I go live. I'll try to post up in the community tab this post when I'll be live streaming the Ramlila or what nights I'll be doing it. Most likely just be 1 or 2 nights, not more than that. I'm hoping to do Pair Road as one of them because I didn't cover Pair Road last year. So we'll see how that goes, and that is basically some updates for, October. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to chat about, well, by now, I'm not sure if you all follow other content creators, or especially like my boy Bushman, he was in an incident that would have been for a few weeks ago, where people basically beat him up a little bit and destroyed or threw away some of his equipment while he was out there capturing stuff. And to my fellow content creators out there, just be observant out there, Dread. It is uncalled for. Some of these men have hatred in their heart, and apparently they were doing a religious event. And I had to mention this right here, right now. If it is your religion, regardless of what religion it is promoting hate and violence against your fellow human, your fellow beings or fellow mankind, then that is not a proper religion to follow, in my humble opinion. Because regardless if you're Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Roman Catholic, at the end of the day, we, for the most part, we preach tolerance and we preach love. Like, God is love, period. And anybody who promotes hate outside that is just they being influenced by the negative forces around us, by what people may call demons or rakshas. And yeah, Christopher, it was sad to hear. Like, Bushman was basically capturing an event for he went and captured Ganesh itself with a temple, and he didn't get a chance to do a drone shot, and he left. The group left, and when he come back, I think he was still in the area. He said, "Let me just pop up, send up the drone a little bit," and he captured other people who was doing the same, something similar, I guess. And then when he brought back the drone, he was confronted by some members of that group, and if you all know Bushman is a real normal soldier. He a real humble and thing. He apologized to them and like say, all right, I didn't, like, out of respect, he say he'd delete the footage and thing, but them men was just out there for violence, and it's unfortunate. And I'm just, I mean, all is well right now. He's good, he's safe and everything. And because I just chat with him, Shine Stories would have done a video on that as well. I suggest you all check that out. And he went down and meet Bushman and thing and whatnot. It's unfortunate what that incident happened, Red, and it got me vexed because, again, apparently it was some religious group, and I'm not sure which group it is, but if one of these days I do find out, right, I'll be questioning that group. Because again, all right, here, Trinbago Vibes, I'm Trinbagonian first. But I also follow the Hindu faith. Not 100% all the time, but I do follow it. That is the religion I have grown up in. And that's why here on the channel, you'll see me doing a lot of more Hindu-based stuff, events and festivals and stuff. But at the same time, here, Trinbagonian culture, we mix up everybody, and I like to learn about other cultures, about other religions and everything. And in my interactions with the Islamic peeps here in Trinidad and Tobago, the Orisha peeps here in Trinidad and Tobago, the Roman Catholics, right? It's all about peace and love, Dread, and tolerance. And people are forgetting that is one of our watchwords here in Trinidad and Tobago: discipline, production, tolerance. Tolerance means that we could disagree with certain aspects of things, right? But that don't mean we need to get violent. That don't mean if you disagree with me, I disagree with you. We can sit down and talk about it and agree to disagree, and still try to understand the point of view where we're coming from and debate those points. But that don't mean you need to revert to violence. And yes, Christopher, it is abhorrent that people out there jump into this. And God willing, hopefully it don't happen to anybody else out there. But to my fellow content creators, if anybody is watching this, even you all who out there, just be a little more observant and be careful out there, right? Like I, I mean, I be taking chances sometimes when I out there. I won't lie. Sometimes I will just go with our vibes, and I will try my best in certain areas, chat with the people around there to see how things are. For the most part, God, thankfully, nothing has occurred or, happened. But at the same time, that don't mean to say it could never happen, right? So we just have to be careful out there. And at the end of the day, like we doing these content creations here in Trinidad and Tobago, at the end of the day, our love for it is to go out and highlight our country, right? And it's be unfortunate when people take advantage in a sense. But yeah. Bushman, these things don't keep Bushman down. He continue making videos. He continue doing stuff. Shout out all those who reach out to him. He actually got back some equipment through the subscribers and stuff and whatnot. So I think Christopher, he in a good spot. But I just say I had to talk about it a little bit and mention it here. And although this incident happened like probably 3 weeks ago, probably a month ago, roughly a month ago, a few weeks ago, I still had to mention it here on this Sunday Vibes Live, because again, the last time we chat here, what we were saying, racism is getting abhorrent out here in Trinidad and Tobago, and hopefully, right, we all could see each other as Trinbagonians. Everybody, we're in a rough economic times now. We have to watch and observe what's going on in the world right now, and we just have to see what's going on and still try and do our part to keep the peace with our neighbors and the people around us, because this is where we live in, and don't let pests out there break or continue to fuel hatred here in Trinidad and Tobago. That's all I'm saying. All right, and I don't hope to end on that note, but just be observant and careful out there. Right, normal thing that we would preach, and so I'll put an end to that. So look out for Barrel Waterfall in the next video. I'm looking at Fort Abercrombie as of some up and coming videos. We have a Diwali Nagar up and coming. We have some live streams. I made live stream actually again at the end of this week here, Friday. I may do a live stream Pier Road, or probably this Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure as yet. We'll see how it goes. Also on the 10th and 11th at UE Spec, that is Sporting Center in UE. It is World Chocolate Day. The Cocoa Research Center is having their 2-day expo on the 10th. That is a Friday and Saturday. Friday might be rough for a bit of people, so this Saturday, go out there and check it out. I'm hoping to cover a little bit on it, probably on the Friday, just to highlight it so you all can see what's happening and check it out, right? So that is also a plan of mine for October next month, right? Don't mind, we have a few days again. So that's about it for me. Thank you all again for the birthday greetings this weekend here. I basically relaxed and I went out for some food and thing with the wife. Shout out Julia, she's taking good care of me. And yeah, and that's about it. Thank you all for your time for joining me on this Sunday Vibes Live, episode 81. The next one will be sometime in October, possibly middle of the month or end of the month. I'll see how it goes. So yeah, you all have a great night. Have a safe night. Oh, again, big up TKR, CPL 2025 winners. I forgot to mention that because we won the CPL this year. I think this is the first time Trinbago Night Riders won outside Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah, hard luck, Guyana Amazon Warriors. It's still one love. Don't mind it had some hatred going on and some battling between us and our Guyanese peeps there. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's one love, eh? Don't fight up. We lose some, we win some. I just always go. But big up TKR. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in to this. Look out for Barrel Waterfall. That's going to be a fun video. Alright. Again, I did not upload the drive yet. The full drive. I'm going to do the full drive raw. Well, no, not fully raw. I'll have some commentary in between that. But yeah, look out for that one. Dropping sometime in the middle of this week. And I will link back to the Laviji video. So yeah, so look out for that and Dread, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a safe one, have a productive one. Be careful out there, be observant of your surroundings and where you're going. And yeah, so I'll see you all. Thank you for joining me on this live. I hope you all have a great week, have a safe week, have a productive week. I mentioned this before, but now.